This is our 10 by 12 wireless AED equine solution. This product weighs just over 4 pounds, has a battery life of about 4 hours or up to 700 exposures, and connects to the software in about 60 to 90 seconds. You have an indicator light on the side of the panel that's going to let you know when the panel is on, and then you have another indicator light that lights up when it's actually connected to the software. When you initially put the battery in on the back, it will take 60 to 90 seconds to establish that first communication. After that, you can make exposures, and every 8 seconds the panel is ready to take a new exposure, with that image displaying in just over 4 seconds, which is a really fast cycle time. We also have this protective case to use with the 10 by 12 solution for use out in the barn. To place the wireless detector in the case, you simply line up the lights on the detector with the cutout on the holder, place it in bottom side first, lift up on the handle, lock it in, and you're good to go. This is going to keep you from having to get your hands in the exposure by being able to hold on to the handles. This is what the back of the 10 by 12 panel looks like. I'm going to go over the battery change process. It's pretty straightforward. You have 2 latches at the bottom of the panel. You simply slide them out to the side. The battery pops out. You have the charger here. You place the battery in the charger, and the charging indicator lights come on. These batteries are going to take about 2 hours to charge from completely dead. System comes with 2 batteries. To replace the battery in the system, you just remove the new fully charged battery. Make sure that both of the sliders are pushed out where you can see the orange at the bottom. You slide the battery in, click it down, and it locks in. When you're finished using the detector, we recommend removing the battery to kind of conserve battery life. And to do that, all you have to do is slide those sliders out to the side. The battery automatically pops out. You remove it and place it in the charger. That way it'll be ready to go when you need it next. With our 10 by 12 Equine wireless solution, it's completely independent from any radiation source. Using the AED technology, all you need is the detector in this tablet, and you can take it out to the field and do x-rays with any generator. With the tablet being completely wireless, it's also a touch screen. Built into the case in the back, you have a stylet that you can use as well, a stylus. From the screen, you start on your work list. This is where you're going to actually plan the studies that you want to do. But before you do any study planning, you want to check the icons at the bottom of the screen to let you know that the detector is connected to the software. From left to right, you have your AED indicator, followed by your wireless strength icon, your battery level, and then the 4-pane window is just an indication that the detector is actually connected. When you're ready to plan an exam, you touch on the plus. It brings up the patient demographic screen. From here, you touch on the patient name. Owner. You select the species. In this case, we're going to go horse. You can select the breed if you want. We're going to leave that blank from now. You go to edit, and that's going to launch the positioning planning screen. From here, you select the region of anatomy, whichever body part that you're looking to do. If you want to do all 6 of these views, it's really quick. You can just drag down the line, highlight everything, hit add. It moves from your plan to your kind of to-do list. All the projections that you intend on doing are going to be over here on the right side. Once you hit OK, it's going to plan it in our demographic screen. From here, you can either hit OK or you can hit exam. If you hit exam, that's going to actually take us to the image acquisition screen. If you're not quite ready to do the exam yet, you can hit OK, and it's going to plan it onto our work list screen. For our purposes, we're going to hit OK, and it adds it to the work list screen. You can notice up at the top, it's sorted by ID, patient name, study description, all these other various fields. The most important field with this software is going to be the study ID, and consistency is key there. If you're consistently using the same patient ID for that animal. When they come back, all you have to do is enter that patient ID and it's going to auto-populate the rest of that information and save you time from having to re-enter that. From the screen, when we're ready to actually do the exam, you select the animal, whichever one that it might be. We're going to go with the one we just planned, and we click exam down here in the lower right hand corner. That's going to take us to the acquisition screen. The main thing you want to make sure of in the acquisition screen is that you have the ready light at the upper part of the software. That's just another indication that the detector is ready to accept that exposure. From here, you'll make the exposure. Whichever thumbnail you have selected, that's where that exposure is going to populate. With our Equine system, it takes about 4.5 seconds for you to get that image up on the screen. And after 8 seconds, a little over 8 seconds, you're ready to take another image. From the list screen, you also have study list, which is where all your finished studies are going to populate. If you want to search for a particular exam and you're trying to do a side-by-side comparison, whatever you might be doing, you have a search bar in the upper right-hand corner. You simply click on that, type in the name of the animal you're looking for, or part of the name, and hit enter, and it's going to filter out all those other studies so you just have the one you're looking for. If you want to clear that field and get everything back, all you have to do is hit the reset button in the upper right-hand corner. This screen is also where you would go to do things like email studies, do side-by-side comparisons, merge studies. Basically, you can do anything with the images you've taken from this screen. Right now, I'm going to show you how to do side-by-side comparisons. So you'll first select your study, the patient that you want. And there are two different modes here. There's a review mode and there's actually a reshoot mode. To do comparisons, you're always going to be in review mode, which is going to be the first icon in the upper left over here. So you would simply tap on that. From here, we have some images of a cervical spine, but we also did some other images as well. If you're ever opening anything in review mode and you need to see the other anatomy that you have selected, you simply click on cervical spine. It'll give you a drop-down menu, and then you can select the anatomy that you want to display. So if we click stifle, it's going to give us these images of the stifle that we took too. In review mode, it's the only mode you can do the side-by-side comparison. If you try to click on side-by-side comparison and it does nothing, then you're in the wrong mode. You're probably in reshoot mode. When you do split the screen, you'll notice that there's a blue box around the one over here on the left. Anything that we click on now, it's going to replace that image. If we do want to do a side-by-side comparison, you simply select the other box, select the image that you want to display there, and that's kind of how you choose which goes where. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of each image, there is a date indicator there. So if you're comparing studies done on previous days, that's going to be your indicator of which is which. And when you do a drop-down and you have this menu, if you're comparing like regions of anatomy, the most recent one's going to be at the top. So just kind of like your work list and study list, the most recent is going to be at the top, and it's going to gradually get older as you go down. That way you're not just putting a bunch of images up there. You kind of know what you're going to get before you get in there. And again, the date's right in the upper right-hand corner. You have two different ways to send images from the screen. In the lower right-hand corner, you have a send button. If you press it and release, it turns blue. That's going to send one individual image. If you want to send every image of the series, you just press it and hold it. It changes orange. Then you let it go. That's going to send everything. You also have the ability to send the whole entire study from the study list, but that's a quick way to do it from the acquisition screen. From the study list, if you highlight an animal's name, you have a send button down here. That does not require a long hold. All you have to do is touch that, and it's going to send every image in the study that you have highlighted there. A good way to double check yourself and know that those images have been sent to PACS, when the images have been sent to your primary send destination, they'll have a green box around them and there'll be an S in the lower left-hand corner of the image. That's an indication that those have been successfully transmitted to the cloud.